If you find yourself getting to the end of every single week, and even though you've worked your off, you look at your numbers and the scoreboard hasn't even changed. It hasn't even moved. That's what this solves. I have built this powerful template that steps you through all the components and the anatomy of designing your perfect week and therefore a perfect life. So, we're back.
We are back for a Q&A episode. Everyone loved this last time.
Yeah.
So we're just going to start rolling each other some questions and share with you some of the conversations that we've been having as well, which we find interesting, and I'm sure you will too.
Well, there's a lot of big shifts happening, isn't there, in the world of marketing? I mean, you've just completed a big, I guess, reveal with our academy on every single month we do these monthly releases. So I suppose this episode, for those of you that are listening, love you guys, you know that. You know, in between some guest episodes and some sort of hot takes from me doing some solo episodes, we want to kind of bring you up to speed with what our academy's up to, what's working well right now. So you guys are up to speed with trends, the data, and just like helping you guys out with as much as we can in the meantime. So you just did a big monthly release with our whole academy. Give me the kind of top 3 themes, I guess, or takeaways that our academy members are running off and executing right now in terms of what's working well, or maybe some shifts.
Yeah. So it's actually funny, like every time we have a monthly release, I immediately go, okay, what are like the trick shots that everyone's doing, these top performing studios? Like I need to give something fresh and exciting. And I really have to stop myself a lot of the time, because the truth is the best studios, they just execute with military precision the things that they know are going to move the needle in their business.
Everyone in the academy thinks the people that are towards the top, the Eagles, they're like, they breathe different air up there, or they drink from a different water fountain. They don't.
They fucking don't.
They do not.
Some of them, like you were, I don't know if I can say this, we might cut it out, but like you weren't even convinced could read when they started with us.
Okay, that was a bit hectic. I can't believe okay, that was hectic.
That was Doze's words. Because right now we're in finals season, you've been talking about for years, like 6 years to me around this time of year is like, we have gone through all of the knockout rounds, and me trying to butcher some of the sports analogies here, but basically we're headed towards the grand final, and now you do not want to be the player that drops the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like they aren't trying new strategies and tactics and like trying different drills at training. They're just doing what they know has worked for them this entire season and doing it really, really well. That is exactly what our owners are focusing on. The ones that are winning are focusing on. It really does pay off. And the truth is their success isn't sexy. It's not some new tactic that they saw on Instagram or that they copied from someone else. It's boring consistency, relentless execution, and it's ownership of their results and making sure that the needle is moving every single week. And the biggest part is they're sticking to a strategy, even when it's boring, even when their results aren't what they want them to look like. They can just back a horse and actually show a lot of confidence in their strategy from the start to the end, and that's what gets them results, rather than panicking when they get patchy results or getting shiny object syndrome and then trying to really like over-intellectualize the lack of success they might be having with something they're working on, to then try and find a really complex solution to what is actually a really simple problem. And if they could just buckle down and nail that KPI, they would be much better off for it.
Yeah. I suppose what I see working well right now is just that intensity on nailing the basics every single day. Lead drops in, call within 5 minutes. Like if we get really tactical, it's like they make it a point to try and get to that lead as soon as that lead drops in, as opposed to finding out all the excuses as to why that didn't work, right? So they ring the lead like within 5 minutes. They make sure that they look at their ads every single day and they do their 5-minute daily ad review. They don't just get overwhelmed by, you know, the thought of doing it. They are doing it every single day. It's almost like they've become a different person now.
Yeah.
As they've moved through the process.
It's like if you were to create a bit of an analogy, it's someone who at the gym will start off and be like, macros are hard and like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this session, blah, blah, blah. Eventually they get incredible results and they have become a person who it's within them to just wake up and get to the gym, and they don't have a second thought about it. The weather doesn't depict whether or not they do go to the gym that day or not. They know what they need to be eating to hit their goals. Even if they aren't tracking, they do their steps. Like it's kind of like you know, when you're on the other side of that, it's kind of like, holy shit, I can't even remember a time where I didn't do this. How the hell was I surviving? And I think the owners who are winning have created the same thing, but in their business.
I think what's actually happened as well is for those that are like really scaling, they're at the point of scaling now. They haven't just like learned how to do ads and they haven't just learned how to sell, but now they're thinking about teams. They're thinking about perspective shifts. They're thinking about leadership. They're thinking about opening, like we've got studios opening second locations now. We've got studios that are franchising their concept now. We've got studios that are now, after 7 years, have now finally got to a stage where they can just fucking enjoy their business.
Yeah.
And just have Thursday mornings off and take their kids to school and have a coffee by themselves or take out the surfboard for a paddle and just anything like that. So Ash did a great talk yesterday with the Academy around the central nervous system and how that actually affects our decision. And the big eye opener that everyone was lighting up the chat box was just the realization that so many owners spend so long in fight or flight. And the reality is you just don't make the best decisions when you're constantly redlining it all through the week. I think that's another big thing as well for those people that have really broken through and have become different people, is that have managed to actually work on themselves the most and work on their state. So I think that's a big thing. So if we just tick that up as to trend or thing one.
Yeah, well, I think that those people know that shiny new objects aren't going to make them rich or respected, but mastery will.
Yeah.
And so a really tactical way that we audit whether or not someone has mastered something is by going through these self-audits that I've created for every single KPI, every single system we have in our academy for them to grow their business. Leads, sales, rollovers, and retention self-audits. I have not yet come across one studio whose KPI, problem KPI, they're green across the board on that self-audit. Like if they have a problem with it, we find it like that and then they can go away and execute, and it's had a direct correlation to an immediate lift in that KPI if they can just fucking execute the basics. It's nothing
within
new.
seconds, right? It's within seconds.
It's like, even if, okay, my churn's at 7%, I need to get it back down to 3%, which is our median within the academy. They might not instantly like go, oh, these are the two things I'm missing, and now it's fixed. Like now it's 5% again, 3% again. But they have this confidence that, oh, okay, well, I can freak out when I've actually done it properly and then it's still not working. So it's this clarity and direction and commitment to mastery rather than panic, try and find something new, something complex, over-intellectualize it, and then like just end up doing fucking whatever they are doing the whole week, not knowing what's going on. I think it's trend number one, commitment to mastery and commitment to shifting and becoming someone with the ability to manage their state and stay to their plan because they're not feeling this overwhelm and dread.
Shout out to our academy owners that have done that.
And a really tactical way, if you're listening to this going, oh my God, like my execution is patchy, whatever, list out all of the things you know you should be doing to nail whatever it is that's leaking right now, and like be honest with yourself about which parts are not up to scratch.
What if they don't know what they don't know?
Honestly, then you need help. And there's no shame in that. If you don't know, you can Google it.
You might not even know what to Google.
You can just book in one of the calls that's in the show notes. Honestly, there's zero strings attached.
That wasn't meant to be an alley.
No, it wasn't. Seriously, if you're listening to this and you don't actually know what you don't know, then it's time.
Do you know the relief we see on people's faces when they knock on our front door and they have a chat to one of our teammates and they're like, oh, I've been here, and we just go through a full diagnostic.
Yeah. And
then within minutes we just go, well, there it is. And they just go.
Takes about 6 minutes.
And they just go, oh my God, it's been there the whole time. They just realise. And as soon as they realise, you call it the Panadol effect, right? As soon as you take the Panadol and decide to get started or you get the plan hasn't started yet, but you immediately feel better because you've done something about it.
Correct.
And I just want to say to people out there that are listening, we know you guys are hard workers. We know you guys mean well. We know you guys set up this business to change lives. Maybe it wasn't to make millions and millions of dollars, but it was to change lives because that's what you want to do. If you're struggling right now, or maybe you're not struggling, maybe you just know that you are ready for the next level of growth and you've got more in you, reach out to us. This isn't a hard sell, but it's kind of like we might have something that you haven't thought of yet, and it's completely for free. You'll meet our team out the front, you'll meet Chuck, you'll meet Ash, and you might even meet me. There's always another level.
Yeah. You reminded me before, if I can just read out a message that someone sent me the other day. I just thought it was awesome. Like, because what Doze is saying is $1 Million Studio, that is our like hero main program where we're building some incredible businesses. But your skyscraper, your like North Star, your mountain might not actually be to have that $1 Million Studio. However, you also might be super successful, but you hate your business.
Yeah.
We've seen so many of them. I got a message the other day from someone who, when initially starting, tried to fight us like through the entire process. Bless him. And then like we smacked him around a little bit with love, and he was like, all right, I'm just going to commit myself to do every fucking little thing you tell me. I'm just going to do it. And he has grown like almost double. Like,
Shout him out. Who is it?
He has not stopped. He's followed every instruction and he's experiencing an incredible growth. So shout out to Matt from Go PT. But he said, just loving the feeling of my business, lifestyle and family at the moment. I'm going away with my girls this week for 4 days. If happiness and quality of life are my measurements of success, then I am top of the leaderboard. Like,
that's fucking awesome.
That's so amazing, because we've said this before. You can have $1 Million Studio and, again, be miserable. Hit that member number, hate it. So to be able to combine the two, because you've got the right systems, you've got confidence again that you know you're working on the right things at the right time. You're not in panic mode. You're not in fight or flight. I love it. I love it so much. And I also love that he finished that off by saying he's basically going to put the Jets on and get to his next big goal before Christmas as well. So what a perfect combo.
Great. Love that, Maddie. Thing 2.
Yeah. So thing 2 is definitely around video content. I can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. Like,
I've never seen it this profound before.
Yeah. We have spoken about this before, but unequivocally the studios that are nailing ads, and they are just that people are basically knocking on their door and saying, I want a part of this. I want to be a part of this. Content is king. Like, they are crushing their content. They're building reputation in that way, and they are using that back into their ads. So instead of having one source of leads being paid ads and just praying that people come through on like, oh, I'm going to launch this 28-day kickstart and hope it works. It's a much fuller funnel approach. They're building trust. They are showing what's different about them, and it just is crushing.
I reckon I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and it used to be images did better than videos, and it used to be you could kind of like gloss over someone's reputation or brand and organic content and just chuck up a strong offer, you know, with some ads, and it would bypass the organic, and it wouldn't.
Organic was an afterthought.
Organic was an afterthought. It was just like some organic content, photos in front of a fucking logo. On Thursdays we lift you. That sort of stuff. I've never seen it like this before, where videos are doing better than images, and your best organic content turns into the best ads. And I don't mean like we can manipulate, like anyone out there still downloading stuff from other gurus that are best creators working well right now. That's like just trying on someone else's undies. That's got nothing to do with your studio. Like the studios that are crushing it right now on their lead gen, and I don't mean junk leads. Anyone can get I can tell the audience how to get 100 leads at $1 right now. They don't fucking pick up.
Yeah.
They don't buy. And if they do buy, they don't turn up. And if they do turn up, they don't stay. And if they don't stay, they'll churn pretty soon, right? We can tell when we look at people's numbers, we can tell by elevated churn rates and not the right offer at the start to bring the right people through the front doors. What's crushing it right now is people focusing on getting good, relevant, meaningful content, and actually like investing in that with content creators, like content shoot days, actually putting thought into their content, looking at their insights, and then like turning that into more strategic organic content. And then once they find something that overperforms, if normally their reels get 500 views and then they post one that slaps, as you say, and they get 3,000 views, you know, we teach them how to put a little bit of money behind that, not by pressing the boost button. Don't press that. Anyone listening? You guys, you've got you guys back. Don't press the little blue button that says boost. We teach them how to do that properly, which then gets it seen by like everyone in the area that matches their, you know, cohort criteria, which then turns into more followers. We've taught them how to sell by chat. And then taking that best content, that reel, and turning that into an ad, that is crushing it right now. You guys, if you're in the car, you can pull over, rewind, listen to that bit again. Literally, you go into your Instagram, you look at like all your reels, you look at all your audience insights, find the ones that have had the most shares, the most saves, the most views, try it, you turn that into an ad, and you can even update the actual words on it so there's a bit of a call to action. Run that, using your existing offer and see how you go.
On like creative templates and stuff, like they'll get you a couple of leads, maybe a few cheap leads.
It just
when
gets you off the ground.
First launch a campaign. There's nothing wrong with that, so to speak, but there's zero longevity in it. You're going to find yourself having fatigued creatives, like on repeat, rinse and repeat. It's just like an annoying loop. Like the more controversial our studios are getting, the more unique our studios are getting, and the more video content they're getting. Like, just you could stop this right now and just go and do something about that, and you will do way better with your marketing.
If you've got a marketing handbrake.
Yeah, correct.
But if you're not, and if like you're getting leads and you're making sales and they're in your studio, there's other things to work on.
I would also argue though, like, even if you don't have a marketing handbrake, your socials can do so much for you with even retention, because you're reinforcing your authority, your knowledge, your beliefs, all of that good stuff to your members who follow you too.
Even talent acquisition. Our studios are getting more people apply to them, like inbound applications from good, like high quality talent, because their organic content really hits the mark in terms of what they value, like values rather than just generic shit.
Yeah. So to recap so far, mastery first, content is king. Video content is king.
Great. 3.
So the third thing, I know we've said this on repeat, we've got a full episode about it, but the best studios right now are doing Separation Sunday. Like, I just really can't like split that any other way.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the episode on that, because the studios who have done that, record revenues is what they're experiencing now. Their team feels more aligned. They're more in control of their week. Like, if you were nodding your head before about being in flight or fight most of your week, this is going to really help you to just get a bit more structure and feel better about the work that you're getting done. A lot of the time we'll meet owners who are just hustling 14-hour days, burning themselves out. And we know you're hard workers, but if that's not adding up to business outcomes, then what's it for? Something is broken there. So if you can restructure your week to focus on the right things and know when you're being pulled into the weeds and how to fix that, as well as regulate your nervous system, back to that chat, because you're doing some mojo things for yourself, you'll be way better off.
And how long does it take to do a Separation Sunday?
It could take you 5 minutes, like as long as it takes to drink your long black.
Yeah. What I love is, and you guys will watch it on my Instagram every single Sunday, I'll do it without fail, is I post my Separation Sunday, which, by the way, if you haven't been watching, Separation Sunday is a powerful, like, honestly, it's a 20-minute routine to set up your ideal week and your ideal life, because our view is, in my view, this is after like interviewing professors, like the most successful people I know, people with planes basically, and like high performers. Their belief is, and here's the mic drop, is everything in life is either by design or by default. So if you find yourself getting to the end of every single week, and even though you've fucking worked your ass off, you look at your numbers and the scoreboard hasn't even changed. It hasn't even moved. And you don't know where your week's gone. Like, honestly, like, it's not like you're not busy. It's not like you're not hard workers. You have been flat chat all week, but you get to the end of the week and you're either net zero, or you're net negative, or you feel like you haven't accomplished anything. That's what this solves. Yeah. Team, that's what this solves. For the time it takes to order and drink your coffee at the cafe, I have built this powerful template and training that you guys can have access for free that steps you through all the components and the anatomy of designing your perfect week and therefore a perfect life, right? Because basically a perfect life is just a bunch of perfect weeks put together in a row in a hot streak. So for those of you that want to, what I absolutely love, like genuinely, what I absolutely love
Sunday Club
is the Separation Sunday Club that's now started.
Yeah.
We're going to get merch done, team. Anyone that's in the Separation Sunday Club, you know who it is, right? The CrossFit boys, like Bexy, the most jacked cricketer in Australia.
Transform 40, they're jumped on.
Transform 40's jumped on.
Michael
Abby,
Cornine.
Michael Cornine. Shout out to my guys. I love you guys, right? Every single week, team, I want to see, this is my call to action, I want to see a record number every single week of people. Let's just light this thing on fire. Let's start a momentum here. It's sexy to plan your ideal week. And the best thing about it is when you get to the end of the week and you judge yourself based on how you went, and like before you know it, trust me, you guys are going to create like a life that you've never imagined, and then you just attack it every single fucking day.
And have the best
and everything else doesn't actually matter. It's so liberating, and there's a direct correlation between the people that do that in our academy and outstanding success. I can't make this shit up. Team, if I could shake this fucking microphone and shake you guys, I would say do Separation Sunday. Get it from the show notes. I'll give it to you for free. Get it from the show notes, and I'll remind you every single fucking week. You look at my Instagram, hey.dozer, follow me, and join in the Celebration Sunday Club, and I promise you, everything will get better in life. For 20 minutes. If that.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If that. Anyway, I think our guest is here.
I think they might be.
Guys, it's really exciting. Our first guest. Well, not our first guest, but like our next guest, rather.
We're going to wrap this one up, guys. But...
Hey, I've got a quick call to action.
Oh, okay.
Just on the back of this one.
Yeah.
Just I'm going to squeeze this one in. It has come to my attention, and this has started to happen since COVID, since all the lockdowns, that a lot of great talent leaves this industry.
Yeah.
Because of one thing. Now, through lockdowns, like this wasn't from me, but like the stat was 50% of the talent left the industry because they wanted to find a job or an occupation that was a bit safer and a bit more long term. Is the quotation mark that people say, like a real job.
Stability.
Okay, and I'm prepared to say shit that people aren't prepared to say. I don't think it's great that this industry leaks good talent because the reality is 3:30 a.m. wake ups can really grind on you. Turning around and pack up at night, turning that around to like then opening up the next morning can really fucking grind on you. And eventually you might want to take a weekend off or like take your 4 weeks annual leave and blah, 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 blah. So in an attempt to kind of like create a different future, an alternative path for good talent within this industry.
Who also don't necessarily want to own their own fitness
Yeah,
studio.
like if you don't want to do 3:30 a.m. wake-ups every fucking day, and if you don't want to own a studio...
But you still want to make a huge impact and change lives within the industry.
And you love the industry, then where else is there to go, really?
You tell me.
Come to Geronimo. No, genuinely, this is I want to create a new path for some of the best talent in the industry to come in and work on helping increase and improve the standard of the entire industry. Because you might not want to work for a HQ, but there are some great network HQs out there at the moment. And you might not want to be a manager and you might not want to be a studio owner, okay? But also, like, fuck, I don't see many 40-year-olds doing 5 o'clock wake-ups. So if that's you, if I'm speaking to you and you're like, oh my God, what? I didn't realize. Yes. Send me a message at Instagram at hey.dozer. I'll link it down below. I want to hear from you. If you love the industry, but you're just getting jacked to the hours and you'd like to explore a different way that you can impact millions of people around the world and still stay within the industry, I want to do our bit to keep as much of the good talent, the best talent still in the industry so we can at least, I'm not going to say respect it as an industry, but there are some actual real jobs in this industry that I want everyone to know that actually exists.
Yeah, I can back that one up. Come and join the team.
All right. With that team, we'll put some Celebration Sunday in the show notes and a link to my Instagram as well. And so that's the big three. So let's recap the 3 things that are working well right now.
So mastery is the number one way to grow your business and stay out of that panic cycle. If you don't know what you need to master, book in one of the calls. There's another link for that in the show notes. The second thing was about content. I don't know what else to say except for you just need to be doing it.
Content for ads.
For ads. And then the last thing is around Separation Sunday and your time being spent in the right places on the right things. So that, again, you're feeling accomplished by the end of the week and not doing 14-hour days to no avail. So, again, Separation Sunday training and guide in show notes. And
Great, guys. That's us looking after you. All right.
Ciao.
See you next time. Bye.